It's time for the Jeff Capel Show. The Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network is brought to you by UPMC Health Plan, official health plan of Pitt Athletics. GBU Life, providing life insurance, annuities, and community service since 1892. And by Pepsi. This is the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network.
Welcome to the GBU Live Campus View Club. Jeff Hathorn with the head coach of the Pitt Panthers, Jeff Capel. There is a women's basketball game against Louisville going on, so you're going to hear some occasional announcements and buzzers, and hopefully a lot of excitement for the Pitt women's basketball team. And Jeff, you guys got back to practice. What was kind of the message to your group as you look forward to Louisville?
It was really just move on to the next play. That was very simple. We just got right to it with Louisville. Obviously, they're playing really well. They've won 5 in a row. They've beaten North Carolina, won at Virginia. So they're a really good team. They led Duke for most of the game when they played them a couple of weeks ago, won at Florida State. So they're playing really well, playing with a lot of confidence right now. And so really that's what today's practice was about, was just our preparation for Louisville.
It's good to have a couple of days practice, especially with Damian kind of working more into he had his first opportunity back.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a valuable time for him right
now?
It
is. You know, even before the Duke game, he wasn't cleared until that we played Tuesday. He was cleared Monday. And we didn't do a lot in practice on Monday because we knew that we needed to have juice for the Duke game. So we didn't want to expend a lot of energy in Monday's practice. So the I think 19 or 20 minutes, whatever he played against Duke, that's the most that he's played since before the Greenbrier, because he was in foul trouble against LSU.
First game.
And I think he played about 12 minutes in that game. Yeah. And then he got hurt the first minute of the Wisconsin game. And so he hasn't played extended minutes since, I don't remember who he played before the Greenbrier. I think it was VMI. So he hasn't played extended minutes since then. So these next couple of days will be really important, especially today. We did high volume stuff today. We'll taper it down some tomorrow since it's a noon game especially, but it's really important for him.
What did you learn about your guards as a group when he was out?
Well, I thought they all stepped up. That's the first thing. To lose when Damian got hurt and when he went out, at that time he was our second leading scorer. He was second on our team in assists. He led us in three-pointers, made in three-point field goal percentage, and he was one of our 2 best defenders. And so obviously it's a huge loss for us. For us to do what we did with him being out, I thought showed how our guards stepped up, how they grew up, and how they got better. To be able to go on the road and win at Ohio State, to go on the road and win at Virginia Tech, and to do some of the things that we were able to do to beat Stanford and Cal and take care of the last 2 non-conference games with Sam Houston and Eastern Kentucky. I thought it gave great, valuable experience for Biba, gave him a chance to step up. He got a start in one of the games. He had a 30-point game in one of the games. And so I thought it was important for us. And, I told our team when he went out, we knew it was going to be for a little bit. And we said, look, this gives an opportunity for some guys to step up and play, but it's also an opportunity for us to get better. And when he comes back, hopefully we've grown as a team and we've gotten better, and then he just adds another strength to us, and hopefully that's what happens.
It was interesting watching him on the sideline during that time because it's your last year.
Yeah.
You could just have your head in. He was chief, getting up off the bench, encouraging guys, talking to guys. What does that tell you about him and what you're building here at Pitt?
Yeah, well, he's been terrific. When we recruited him this time, we recruited him a year ago also, but we told him we thought he could be a significant part of what we do. And one of the things that I talked to him about was that we need his experience and his leadership. And when he got hurt, that's one of the things that I told him, we still need that voice because you've seen a lot. You've played in big games. You've been a really good player. You've also been a role player. And so you have knowledge that could be incredibly valuable to all of these guys. And also he's a guy that everyone respects because he's such a good guy. And they see how he works. So I thought the fact that he stayed connected, that he helped. He was in huddles. He was getting them before they went on the court. He would say stuff to guys when they came off the bench. Because he's seen so much, I thought it was such a valuable experience for the rest of our guys to have him in their ear.
Yeah, I thought it was just cool to watch him interact. And even though he hasn't been here but for a year, he's part of this.
He's a big part of it. And, I think one of the things that helps that is, he has really good teammates. And I think they hit it off as soon as he got here this summer. There's no jealousy. There's no hidden agendas. They want him to be good. They know that he is good. And they've been terrific with each other.
Jeff, we get into that time now where school is back into session.
Yeah.
You had that opportunity a few weeks to be around him. I don't know how the rules work, but there's probably extra time. I'm sure the guys are spending a lot of time shooting, doing. What is that transition like for a student athlete to kind of go from that to now you're adding school back in the mix?
Well, I've always felt that when you get to the Christmas break, and whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on where you are at school, for a student athlete, and I felt this way when I played too, it's almost a little bit like you're a pro. You're a pro athlete because you don't have school, you don't have study hall, you don't have any of that stuff, so it's all basketball. And, you practice. A lot of times we would go at 11 in the morning, and then you have the rest of the day. We got guys in to watch tape, like you mentioned, extra shooting, but there's a lot of downtime with that also. And so it's great integrating, getting back in the swing of things with school. I think is terrific because it gives them something to do. Other people are here, their peers, their contemporaries are here, and then there's just a buzz on campus. One of the things that can be difficult during that break is that you're the only ones here. I mean, it was us and women's basketball. And that's really it because football was here for a second and they went into their bowl and they went straight from there home. And so getting people back on campus, I hope it's an incredible crowd on Saturday afternoon at noon. Hopefully the zoo is rocking and we need to make this a difficult place.
Well, I know one of the people I believe will be in that crowd is the new Director of Athletics, Alan Green. He is going to join us live next here on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Hey, Pitt fans. Delta Airlines is proud to fly the Pittsburgh Panthers and their fans across the country and around the globe. Delta Airlines offers nonstop service to 6 destinations from Pittsburgh. Whether traveling for business or pleasure, you'll enjoy Delta Airlines' award-winning customer service as we support you through your travel journey. Pitt Athletics and Delta Airlines. Keep climbing.
Thanks to 850 community partners across an 11-county service area, Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank is working to eliminate hunger and stabilize lives across the Three Rivers region. We're committed to making sure all our neighbors have consistent access to healthy food, and we're connecting people to other critical services to address the root causes of food insecurity. To get help, volunteer, or donate today, visit pittsburghfoodbank.org or call 412-460-3663.
As on the basketball court, financial planning requires a comprehensive playbook to win the wealth management game. JKS Financial understands that your needs are unique and will provide the game plan to win with your financial goals. Their financial advisors use a proven wealth optimization system with a focus on retirement distribution strategy and will coach you through your journey to financial stability and peace of mind for the future. Visit jks-financial.nm.com.
Find sweet success with Sarah's Candies fundraising. We've been helping groups like yours raise money for over 60 years and offer a variety of flexible programs to find a fundraising solution that works for everyone. Maximize your profits with our holiday brochure sale. Fundraise 100% online with our online ordering program, or earn up to 70% profit by selling chocolate bars and pretzel rods year-round. Fundraising with Sarah's Candies is easy and profitable. Visit sarahscandiesfundraising.com or call 1-800-255-7771 to get started today.
We believe healthcare should treat the whole person and the whole community. At UPMC, we aim to do just that by partnering with organizations that help bring fresh and healthy food to the people who need it most. Because life-changing is caring for you before you ever walk in our doors. Learn more at upmc.com/community impact. UPMC. Life-changing medicine.
Icy Light is the official beer of getting up early. It's the official beer of rallying the troops. The official beer of turning a 3-hour game into an all-day affair. The official beer of, did you just see that? The official beer of rising and cheering in unison for every season-defining moment. Icy Light, the official beer of your Pittsburgh Panthers. Let's raise another.
It's the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network.
We are at the Peterson Event Center, the GBU Live Campus View Club. Jeff Hathorn here with the Director of Athletics at the University of Pittsburgh, Alan Green. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
We appreciate it. Hey, when you first came, you said, and I'm paraphrasing, that you wanted to take some time to kind of learn.
Sure.
What have you learned here over the first couple of months of your time here at Pitt?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say, number one, maybe not learned, but maybe surprised about how genuine everyone is here in the city of Pittsburgh. I knew that people were kind, but I didn't realize they were that kind and that genuine. So the welcome has been awesome. Obviously, people care deeply about sports here in the city of Pittsburgh, both professional and collegiate. And we want to make sure that we do our part in providing that sense of pride for the city of champions and put our coaches in position to be able to do that. So I'm learning people, I'm learning places, I'm learning streets, I'm learning how to say I'm still learning that one.
Monongahela.
Yeah, the Monongahela.
There you go.
The Mon is just easier, thankfully. And so yeah, just really soaking it all in, and it has been a blast.
Aren't you glad you were here in a time of GPS?
Oh, absolutely. There is no way in heck I could try to navigate my way around the city without that. Even if we had like a Garmin or a TomTom back in the day, I'm really dating myself. Or like the MapQuest, like there would be no way. You just have to know it. You would just have to know it.
At least it's not a triptych, so you're trying to fold a map or
right,
something
exactly.
while you're driving at the same time.
I could see a lot of marriages. Maybe that's why people don't go, across rivers. Right, once you learn the streets in your area, there's no sense in going to other places because you get too lost.
You have learned that. When I first moved here, I lived in the North Hills, and I went to a party. We went to a party in the South Hills, and people were like, "You came all the way from the North Hill?" I'm like,
"Yeah,
You crossed a river?"
Yeah. Well, I'm both too ignorant and too stupid to stay, wherever we're going to end up living. So. But it's also part of our responsibility and my responsibility to get out and be around our people. So it doesn't matter what hill it's going to be on, I'll be there.
What are those initial conversations like with coaches, and what do you want them to know about you?
I think a lot of it is I want to learn about them. So the way that I approach our department and the management is we have 15 head coaches, and they are all CEOs of their respective organizations. They have different dynamics, different cultures, different priorities, and so we try to figure out how do we provide them the things that they need for their particular program within the context of the framework that is Pitt Athletics, and it's me understanding what it is unique about their programs, and it's important for me to make sure that they understand that I'm with them. It's my responsibility and our team's responsibility as an administration to support the nuances of their programs. And it's been fun getting to know our coaches. I would say that they take great pride in what we call punching above, our weight class, so to speak. And we don't have the highest resources in our league or in the country, but I think we have coaches who know the city of Pittsburgh, they know this campus, they know their programs, and they recruit the type of kids who want to be here, who have a chip on their shoulder, and they take a great deal of pride in that.
The care is there.
They absolutely care. They absolutely care. And, you don't – success isn't about bricks and mortar. Success is about the people. And we have the right people here in this athletics department, and I'm really fortunate to be able to work with such a great cast of coaches.
We're joined by Director of Athletics, Alan Green. You mentioned earlier about some of the people you met. Is what sold you on the university Has it been even more than what you thought it would be when you came?
Yeah, it actually has. It actually has. And I want to give a nod to Heather because I think she's done a great job of positioning this athletics department in the conference and then in the national landscape. Right, we've got a couple programs who are nationally competitive. So our job is to take the hard work that has been put into this program recently and work to keep on ratcheting it up our success. And everybody's game. Everybody's ready to roll their sleeves up and get to work.
I know fans sit back and they watch everything that's happening with college athletics. What do you want fans to know about how Pitt is dealing with this changing world?
Yeah, I think it's important to know that we're embracing it. I mean, it's very clear that if you're not investing in talent acquisition, and I would argue we in our industry have always invested in talent acquisition, but it had been through bricks and mortar before, right? It was always usually facilities and some sort of glitz and glam. Now it's about, direct really compensation to student athletes, and we have to fully embrace it. We are embracing it. We've generated a lot of revenue and a lot of money. A lot of people have stepped up philanthropically to help our coaches in that space, and we'll continue to do so. We have to do an excellent job of managing our resources and being really thoughtful with how we're spending our money, and doing so in areas that are going to give us the greatest return on investment and the greatest impact. And that's as crazy as our industry is right now, that's the fun part about waking up every day.
Do you have to – is it hard to forecast? Because it used to be you'd think, okay, I want to be at X spot or it's going to be this in 5 years. In 5 months, it could be very different. How do you stay flexible through these changes?
Yeah, I was having a conversation with our executive team over the past few weeks, and COVID was terrible in a lot of ways. But one of the things that it taught us is that we can be flexible, and that we can operate in an environment where we're not quite sure of what the next day is going to bring. And we're in a very similar environment to that, where it's changing so rapidly that we have to accept that the decisions that we make today may not, we may have to change them next week, depending on the landscape, depending on just what's happening in the ecosystem. So it doesn't bother me. I don't lose sleep over it. We're all dealing with it, and so our task is to try to deal with it better than other people do.
All right, let's talk some basketball.
All right.
Come back as we are joined by the University of Pittsburgh Director of Athletics, Alan Green, here on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Mac.bid is here. What is it? It's your place to save up to 80% off retail. But don't share this news, because you don't need the bidding competition. Neighbor wants to know where you got that new mower? Lie. Mom's admiring your new cookware? Fib. Your priest wants a new TV just like yours. Okay, maybe you tell your priest about Mac.bid, but don't tell anyone else. You need to become a deceiver, a teller of untruths, a fabricator of falsehoods, a spinner of yarns. Winning at Mac.bid is amazing. Competition stinks. Mac.bid is here. Tell no one.
When your employer gives you a choice of health plans, choose UPMC Health Plan. You'll have access to the best doctors and hospitals, including the top-ranked care of UPMC and many community hospitals near you. UPMC Health Plan gives you an award-winning healthcare concierge team and a partner who puts you and your health at the center of all we do. Choose what's best. Choose UPMC Health Plan. Visit upmchealthplan.com/best for more information.
When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies ask, what's your salary? At Northwestern Mutual, we ask, what's your story? We know building the right financial plan means looking at more than money. That's why we start by asking the right questions, listening to what matters most to you, then guiding you every step of the way to help you live the life you want. Plan your financial story with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Northwestern Mutual Pittsburgh today. Visit pittsburgh.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip hop could be hop hip? Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Post-Gazette sports reporters Noah Hiles and Chris Carter follow your Pitt Panthers like they're on man-to-man coverage. They're the best duo in the city for game summary, stats, and insider info for the Oakland Zoo and all fans. Catch the action on the North Shore Drive podcast and drop a line in their mailbag. And don't forget to follow coverage all season long in the Post-Gazette. Read about wins at the Pitt and on the road from the preseason all the way to the ACC Championship.
Whether it's on the court, field, or pitch, the Panthers can handle anything thrown their way. It just goes to show that being adaptable and preparing a solid strategy pays off. That's why PNC is proud to support University of Pittsburgh athletics and their dedication to smart, tested tactics. Because just like any big game, when it comes to your finances, there's a lot on the line, and having a dependable team allows you to make the plays you need to reach your goals. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865, member FDIC.
Back to the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network.
We're at the GBU Life Campus View Club here at the Peterson Event Center, joined by Pitt Director of Athletics Alan Green. And this basketball team, 12-3. We've seen excitement, great crowd for the Stanford game, considering students weren't around. You can feel a buzz around the program. What's been your initial impressions of seeing this team and this group?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I'll probably talk about more off the court. Jeff Capel was one of the first people to call me when I got the job, and he was one of the first coaches I met with one-on-one. Just an outstanding individual, and he's also a really good coach. He had me talk to the team. I actually stopped by practice and I actually sat down in a corner. I didn't want to be seen, and he found me and made me address the team. And after my remarks, he reminded them, he's like, make sure you introduce yourself. And part of what we do, like, people look at people like Jeff Capel and think, oh, he's just a basketball coach. He is not. He's a teacher. He's a leader. His responsibility is to grow young men, and he uses basketball as that vehicle. So the guys on the team, as I've gotten to know them, are tremendous individuals and people who I would want my son around. So that has been fun. And then, obviously the more connected you are in the locker room, if you will, the better typically the results are on the court. And watching them play has been nothing but fun. I probably get a little bit frustrated like Coach does, and with the slow starts in the first half. And I know he's working on that, but it's fun to watch the guys, and there's a deep sense of gratitude when you get a chance to watch them play.
You mentioned you sat in a corner. Did at any point you think, man, I used to be that student athlete when someone would come in and talk, and does it give you a better idea of how to relate with not just the student athletes but also the coaches?
Yeah, I think back a million years ago when I was a student athlete, and I did not necessarily acknowledge that there were people outside of my really small universe of baseball who contributed to my experience in college. And now that I'm older, now that I've been in this industry for 20 years or so, I try to help our young people understand, and not just our basketball players, but all of our student athletes. There are their coaches, their athletic trainers, their strength and conditioning coaches. There are people who are part of their nucleus who they see every day, but there's another couple hundred people who they don't see every day, who are working their tails off to support them and to make sure that they have a dynamic experience here at Pitt. And all of our college campuses are doing that. So I want our kids to know, our young men and our young women to know that there are people who are supporting them, and our student athletes don't even know it. And so anytime they see someone working in the athletics department or who they think work in the athletics department, they ought to go up and introduce themselves, right? And tell them, either thank the administrator or this person, or it could be a janitor, it could be the ticket taker, but just thank them for caring enough about their experience, and be appreciative of that. And that's honestly the reward that I get every day, is being around our student athletes and helping them understand the big picture.
It's interesting. I went to the Sun Bowl with the football team a couple of years ago, and the Sun Bowl director in the final news conference kind of stopped the news conference and just said, I've never been around a group of student athletes who are better mannered or more respectful than this Pitt football team. And I imagine that is exactly what you're looking for, and those are the type of people you want here at the university.
I actually made the same comment after I spoke to SAC, our Student Athlete Advisory Group, and the questions that they asked were so thoughtful. And I remember talking to a staff member afterward, and I just said, I've not engaged with student athletes at that. I've not been in a room where student athletes have engaged to that degree before. And it's indicative of the great job in recruiting that our coaches do, and that harkens back to what I mentioned about our coaches know who we are, and they know the type of person and student athlete who fits here at Pitt, and they do an excellent job of recruiting those people. And it shows. It shows in that experience at the Sun Bowl. It shows when our teams travel on the road. It shows here when we're in Oakland on our own campus and our kids are in the community.
What's it been like getting to know Jeff a little bit?
Oh, it's been fun. He is, he's seasoned now, right? Like, he's been a head coach. This is his third stop as a head coach. This is my third stop as an AD, and you can tell the difference, right? We don't really sweat the small stuff, and we're pretty measured in our approach. And it's fun to be around someone who I can learn from. And I shared with him, and when we were sharing, when we were at break, I played a little bit of basketball way back in the day when I was in high school. So I know enough to be dangerous.
But I want a state title.
Yeah. I won a state title in high school a long time ago. But what's really humbling is when you sit and watch film with them, and they're using a different language. I don't understand what the heck is going on. There's a couple things that I pick up, but that's like fast break and inbound and out. But it's fun to see. It's fun to see our coaches teach these young men in that locker room. And Jeff, obviously, as the leader of the program, sets the tone, and he sets a really good tone for our program. Our people ought to be really proud.
It's funny. You were mentioned playing a few years ago in high school. It's amazing. These kids, 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", with the handle that they have, their athletic ability is crazy.
Yeah, it is. I probably was 6'2" and some change in the media guide. But I think what's different now, and I've got a 17-year-old son, and you have to declare really early on in life now on what sport you're going to play. And so there's no question that players in any sport now are more skilled than they were, back in the day. I won't date myself. I'll just say way back when. But I think part of what we miss also is that athletes, they're less athletes and they're more players, right? They're specialists in sport, whatever that they've decided to specialize in. I think it's really valuable to play multiple sports, just no different than it is to learn multiple subjects in school, right? It diversifies you and it rounds you out and smooths you out a little bit. But there's no question, like, it's a skilled, our athletes in today's age are more skilled than we've ever seen.
Alan, thanks for stopping by.
It's my pleasure, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me.
Really enjoy it. Jeff Capel Show. Derell Porter is going to join us coming up. We're going to talk to Jeff about this Louisville game coming up on Saturday at noon right here on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Hey Pitt fans, as the official credit union of the Pitt Panthers, Clearview Federal Credit Union is here to help you reach all your financial goals. Clearview wants to help you score big financially, whether you need to save, spend, borrow, or learn, they're here to help. Get easy access to your money from anywhere using their digital banking featuring Zelle, Clearview Live Video Banking, over 80,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, and financial centers throughout the Pittsburgh area. Visit clearviewfcu.org/Panthers to learn more and open an account today. Hail to Pitt.
Whether it's achieving your financial goals, securing your family's future, or finding peace of mind, GBU Financial Life can support your journey. Visit gbu.org/new year and take the first step towards a brighter tomorrow. Insurance is underwritten and annuities are issued in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Products are subject to availability and may vary by state. Products are offered and sold by licensed agents. If you contact GBU, you may be offered information for the purchase of products or contacted by an agent. GBU and its agents do not provide financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult a professional for such matters.
Whether it's on the court, field, or pitch, the Panthers can handle anything thrown their way. It just goes to show that being adaptable and preparing a solid strategy pays off. That's why PNC is proud to support University of Pittsburgh athletics and their dedication to smart, tested tactics. Because just like any big game, when it comes to your finances, there's a lot on the line, and having a dependable team allows you to make the plays you need to reach your goals. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865, member FDIC.
Post-Gazette sports reporters Noah Hiles and Chris Carter follow your Pitt Panthers like they're on man-to-man coverage. They're the best duo in the city for game summary, stats, and insider info for the Oakland Zoo and all fans. Catch the action on the North Shore Drive podcast and drop a line in their mailbag. And don't forget to follow coverage all season long in the Post-Gazette. Read about wins at the Pitt and on the road from the preseason all the way to the ACC Championship.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Icy Light is the official beer of getting up early. It's the official beer of rallying the troops. The official beer of turning a 3-hour game into an all-day affair. The official beer of, did you just see that? The official beer of rising and cheering in unison for every season-defining moment. Icy Light, the official beer of your Pittsburgh Panthers. Let's raise another.
It's the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network.
Peterson Events Center, GBU Live Campus View Club. Jeff Hathorn joined by former Panther guard Derell Porter, 1,000-point scorer. So let's be fair to your stats. 1,007 points, 617 assists, 466 rebounds, 170 steals. Any one of those stats you're particularly proud of?
Well, I'm happy I scored 1,000 points. We had a lot of guys who didn't pass the ball that much when I played, so I had to do all the passing.
You know, you mentioned that. I mean, you come in here and it's Charles Smith, Jerome Lane, Demetrius Gore. What was that like your first year?
Well, I'll tell you what. My first couple of days, normally when you go to the gym, I'm like one of the first picks. All the freshmen, we didn't even get picked. We had to call next.
So there you are. It's like the whole reversal. Like you're a freshman again, but even when you were probably a freshman in high school, you were picked.
Yeah, I used to get picked when I was a freshman in high school, but not when I was going to college.
What did you learn from those guys?
I tell you what, I learned that just being the best in your area or city doesn't mean much. Every player on the team is a great player. Everybody on the team is the best player from their area. And then normally your IQ kind of separates you. So I'm glad that I had good fundamentals, a great high school coach. So I was able to maneuver myself and make some positive strides my freshman year.
So the lessons you learned as a freshman, when you became a senior, did you find yourself teaching the same things to some of the younger guys?
Oh, absolutely. The first thing I told the kids who came in was you have to have your body ready. You have to be in shape. Don't try to get in shape. Already be in shape so your body will respond well. And, my freshman year, that was one of the things that I did. I was in good shape. So the conditioning drills and things we did, I was able to do them. I think that comes from coming from a good high school program where we put a focus on conditioning.
You came in, I think, with Sean, right?
Sean Miller, Jason Matthews, Bobby Martin, Brian Shorter.
That's a recruiting class right there.
Yeah, we were the number one recruiting class in the country. And all of us weren't going to get in.
So how did you deal with that?
Well, I'll tell you what. When we first got there, you forgot to mention we had Mike Goodson, who was the 6'3", 215-pound point guard. We had Chris Gatlin that was sitting out, and Rob Brookhead, and so many other players that it was going to be hard to get on the court. But the Big East was the best conference in the world back then, and you wanted to play against the best. And then it worked out where Chris transferred. Brian Shorter wasn't eligible. Rod ran into some academic difficulties, and then we're the four freshmen who are providing the spark for top 10 team in the country. But remember, when we first got there, we didn't get picked.
We're joined by Derell Porter here on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. You mentioned Sean and Jason. For you guys, when you guys would go out and play at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse for a Big East game, what would you just? I mean, there's a generation now that doesn't know that. How would you describe what that environment was like in that Big East?
I mean, that environment was incredible. There was no standing room. It was like just get on top of somebody's shoulder. It was packed.
Was it hot in there?
It was hot in there. However, at the beginning of the game, it would be cold because the doors were right near the court. So when people were coming in, we had an advantage. We were used to playing when it was cold. So the first half, we would always get off to a good start because the other team was struggling with it being cold.
You use that to your advantage?
Absolutely.
What did it mean to you being from here to put that jersey on?
Oh, it meant so much. I grew up one street away from Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, Duncy Street. So Darrell goes all the way down. Duncy Street goes to Carlos. So I lived right by the Fieldhouse. And growing up, I dreamed about playing in the Fieldhouse, playing for Pitt. And one day I was Sam Clancy. The next day I was Dan Marino or Tony Dorsett. And being that I lived so close, I was able to go into the Trees Hall all the time. And I learned how to walk the tunnels, and I would go to the games. And
that's cool. I
was an easy sell to come to Pitt.
All right, you mentioned Sam. Before I forget, his number's going to be retired here soon. What is the impact of that for where you grew up, and what was watching Sam like as a player?
He was dominant, and I didn't know that he was as short as he was. He played so big, like a Charles Barkley or something. He played way bigger than his size. And to be from the community and the neighborhood, the whole city followed him, followed his career, and I wanted to do a very similar thing. And that's one of the reasons I chose to stay at home.
What have you thought about where the program is at now and the job Jeff has done here?
Oh, he's done an incredible job. I tell him that his guys are good guys. They're good people. They come up and give back every year. They do a free clinic for the kids from the community up at the rec center, and they put time into it. They went and read to our kids. They drove bikes in for them. They've done an incredible job, and the type of kids that he's getting in the program, I think that's why they're starting to have great success. They have good people,
and that matters, right? I mean, that stuff does matter. You've coached,
Yep, definitely, because the player who you think can get 20 and 10, and they don't have the right approach, they're not going to help you win that many games.
When we come back, you are being honored as one of the 2025 awardees of distinction. I want to ask you about that as we continue and some of the work you're doing in the community as well. It's Derell Porter joining us on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Hi, this is Bill Hillgrove. I'm here with Joe Stefka from NSS Life. Joe, it's commonly known that NSS Life has a wide range of insurance products and high-yielding annuities that are among the industry's best.
You're right, Bill. In fact, our $50,000 youth term plan is only $50 per year. Just call for details.
Protecting and providing for your family. That's NSS Life.
NSS Life, where family matters.
UPMC believes that not having a place to call home is as much of a health emergency as anything else. That's why we're working to increase access to affordable and stable housing across Pennsylvania by partnering with local organizations. Because life-changing is helping you before you ever walk in our doors. Learn more at upmc.com/community impact. UPMC. Life-changing medicine.
Find sweet success with Sarah's Candies fundraising. We've been helping groups like yours raise money for over 60 years and offer a variety of flexible programs to find a fundraising solution that works for everyone. Maximize your profits with our holiday brochure sale. Fundraise 100% online with our online ordering program, or earn up to 70% profit by selling chocolate bars and pretzel rods year-round. Fundraising with Sarah's Candies is easy and profitable. Visit sarahscandiesfundraising.com or call 1-800-255-7771 to get started today.
As on the basketball court, financial planning requires a comprehensive playbook to win the wealth management game. JKS Financial understands that your needs are unique and will provide the game plan to win with your financial goals. Their financial advisors use a proven wealth optimization system with a focus on retirement distribution strategy and will coach you through your journey to financial stability and peace of mind for the future. Visit jks-financial.nm.com.
Thanks to 850 community partners across an 11-county service area, Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank is working to eliminate hunger and stabilize lives across the Three Rivers region. We're committed to making sure all our neighbors have consistent access to healthy food, and we're connecting people to other critical services to address the root causes of food insecurity. To get help, volunteer, or donate today, visit pittsburghfoodbank.org or call 412-460-3663.
Hey, Pitt fans! Delta Airlines is proud to fly the Pittsburgh Panthers and their fans across the country and around the globe. Delta Airlines offers nonstop service to 6 destinations from Pittsburgh. Whether traveling for business or pleasure, you'll enjoy Delta Airlines' award-winning customer service as we support you through your travel journey. Pitt Athletics and Delta Airlines. Keep climbing.
It's the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network.
Recognizing former student athletes who have made significant impacts in their professions or communities and have enhanced the legacy of Pitt athletics. That is what it takes to be an awardee of distinction. Derell Porter is one of those. What does it mean to you that to be recognized as an awardee?
I feel incredible about it that somebody else thinks that the work that I'm doing is good. It's nice when you think you're doing good work, but when somebody else tells you you're doing good work, then you're really doing it.
How would you describe the work that you do?
Well, it's a passion that I have to help kids from my community and throughout the city of Pittsburgh. I don't even consider it work. I'm just doing my thing to show them the right way to do things, give them different resources, engage them in activities and educational things that could help them in their future, and then it all works out for me.
How do you see basketball impact people's lives?
Oh, I've seen it on so many different levels. Luckily, we have a couple guys in the NBA, and they made it to the highest level. But I see kids who can't even make their high school team, but them playing basketball with me keeps them off the street. And now they're a good kid. They're a productive citizen. They have a job. And then they come back to tell the other kids, you don't have to be the best player to take advantage of this program. Make sure you listen to Coach Dapp.
It's funny because our youngest worked with you for a summer with the youth basketball program. And when you say Coach Dapp, she would always tell stories about Coach Dapp and how you guys impact lives. How many people, or what's it been like when people have come back to you and said, man, I was heading down the wrong road, but now I'm doing whatever it is they're doing?
That's great. I mean, sometimes we get some kids that are rough around the edges and not mature enough to know that they're not making the proper decisions. And the more we pour into them, they finally get it. And then once they know that they got it, they come back and thank you because they know they were probably heading in the wrong direction.
You mentioned you grew up about a block from the field house. Do you
Yep.
consider like the Hill kind of an extended Pitt community?
Oh, absolutely. When I was younger, I'm telling you, I played those games without playing them. I was Sam Clancy. I was Tony Dorsett. I was Dan Marino, Gordon Jones, you name it. I was thinking that I was one of those guys.
Who was the first person you remember seeing at Pitt that would go out and do stuff that, and did any of that kind of register with you as you decided what you wanted to do for your life?
Well, the first one was Sam Clancy because he worked for Ozanam, the organization that I run now. And I was part of Ozanam. It's called The Clinic. And in The Clinic, you go do the fundamentals. And for some reason, Mr. Carl Coleman, who started Ozanam, had college and high school players mentoring the younger players. And this is back in the 70s.
Wow.
And so he was ahead of his game, ahead of his time. And so my counselor at camp was Sam Clancy.
Wow.
And then he's playing down the Civic Arena in Eastern 8, and I'm going to watch him and all this stuff. And then I'm thinking,
that's the guy.
Yeah. And so now we still have the same style. We bring back all of our kids that are in college or the best kids in high school, and they come help the younger kids. So it still works 40 years later.
Wow. Well, Derell, congratulations on being an awardee of distinction on everything you're doing in the Hill District. If someone's listening wants to get involved, how could they do that?
Well, if you go to the web, we're at www.ozanaminc.org, OZANAMINC.org. Or you can give me a call, look us up, and we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for somebody in a different field. We do a lot of work with the police and the firemen because we want our kids to feel comfortable with them. But no matter what your background is, I think that it'll give a kid an option that they might not know of if you come speak with our kids.
All right, Derell, thank you. Thanks for being here. Jeff is going to join us next as we continue. It's the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies ask, what's your salary? At Northwestern Mutual, we ask, what's your story? We know building the right financial plan means looking at more than money. That's why we start by asking the right questions, listening to what matters most to you, then guiding you every step of the way to help you live the life you want. Plan your financial story with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Northwestern Mutual Pittsburgh today. Visit pittsburgh.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Icy Light is the official beer of getting up early. It's the official beer of rallying the troops. The official beer of turning a 3-hour game into an all-day affair. The official beer of, did you just see that? The official beer of rising and cheering in unison for every season-defining moment. Icy Light, the official beer of your Pittsburgh Panthers. Let's raise another.
When your employer gives you a choice of health plans, choose UPMC Health Plan. You'll have access to the best doctors and hospitals, including the top-ranked care of UPMC and many community hospitals near you. UPMC Health Plan gives you an award-winning healthcare concierge team and a partner who puts you and your health at the center of all we do. Choose what's best. Choose UPMC Health Plan. Visit upmchealthplan.com/best for more information.
Thanks to 850 community partners across an 11-county service area, Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank is working to eliminate hunger and stabilize lives across the Three Rivers region. We're committed to making sure all our neighbors have consistent access to healthy food, and we're connecting people to other critical services to address the root causes of food insecurity. To get help, volunteer, or donate today, visit pittsburghfoodbank.org or call 412-460-3663.
Hey, Pitt fans! Delta Airlines is proud to fly the Pittsburgh Panthers and their fans across the country and around the globe. Delta Airlines offers nonstop service to 6 destinations from Pittsburgh. Whether traveling for business or pleasure, you'll enjoy Delta Airlines' award-winning customer service as we support you through your travel journey. Pitt Athletics and Delta Airlines. Keep climbing.
Whether it's on the court, field, or pitch, the Panthers can handle anything thrown their way. It just goes to show that being adaptable and preparing a solid strategy pays off. That's why PNC is proud to support University of Pittsburgh athletics and their dedication to smart, tested tactics. Because just like any big game, when it comes to your finances, there's a lot on the line, and having a dependable team allows you to make the plays you need to reach your goals. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865, member FDIC.
Back to the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network.
Pitt Panthers up 28-21, Jeff. The women's basketball team here at the Peterson Events Center. We are at the GBU Life Campus View Club, and if you haven't been up here or had an opportunity to see a game from up here, this is the way to do it. You can walk out there, check out the game, come back here. There's a bar. There's all kinds of things going on. It's a great place to watch a game. We talked to Alan Green and also to Derell about what athletes do off the court or off the field. What's the importance to you of making sure that your players understand whether it's a responsibility or options of what they can do to help other people?
Yeah, well, it's huge. I mean, that's the way we grew up, my brother and I. When I was little, my dad was a coach, and especially when he became a college coach, he would, at times clinics or whatever, people wanted him to sign autographs, and he would always write "help others," and he would sign his name. And as little, I would ask him about it, and my grandfather, his dad, taught him that, and my dad taught us that. Whether you like it or not, there's a responsibility. I was a kid once, and I looked up to my dad's players when he was a high school coach. When he became a college coach, I looked up to those guys. I wanted to be like them. And so these guys have that responsibility now, and how they conduct themselves, how they act, is really, really important, and the impact that they can have. That's the thing I try to get them to understand, the impact that they have. And I constantly remind them, like, think of yourself, like when they work our camp, think of yourself when you were 8 years old, and maybe you had a chance to go to a camp, and you saw a college player, and you looked up to him. It was someone you saw on TV. You wanted to be like him. Like, you're that guy now that these kids look up to. So there is a responsibility that they have, and we've been fortunate the past few years. We've had some really good guys.
Derell was saying that a number of your players have come down and read and done stuff. Do you look at kind of the Hill District? That's an extension of the Pitt community? Absolutely. And especially with Derell being there. He means so much to the community up there at Ammons. He does it. I've marveled at him since I've been back here. I knew about him as a player in the 80s, but just the impact, and you see those kids, they light up when he comes in there. And he's an example of giving back. I saw him getting emotional over here off the air, talking about, some of the kids that he's had and where they've gone off to, and you see the pride that he has, and it's a really, really cool thing. Yeah, and a lot of them don't even play basketball. No question. But their life has been impacted by basketball. And people, man, I still, Jeff, believe in people. I know we're in a crazy time right now, but I believe I have to believe in the goodness of people, even with the insanity that's going on in our country right now and around the world, to be quite honest with you. But I still believe, man, and maybe I'm naive in some instances, but I believe in the goodness of people. I want to be around good people. I want to surround myself with good people. I believe in kindness and helping people, and I do believe most people are like that. We have some outliers out there, and they're the ones that get all the attention, but I think there are a lot of really good people that want to help. All right, coming up, let's talk about this Louisville team that is much improved. We discussed it earlier in the show. We'll drill down a little bit on the Cardinals. That's noon right here Saturday at the Peterson Event Center. 11:30 is airtime as we conclude coming up on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Whether it's achieving your financial goals, securing your family's future, or finding peace of mind, GBU Financial Life can support your journey. Visit gbu.org/new year and take the first step towards a brighter tomorrow. Insurance is underwritten and annuities are issued in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Products are subject to availability and may vary by state. Products are offered and sold by licensed agents. If you contact GBU, you may be offered information for the purchase of products or contacted by an agent. GBU and its agents do not provide financial, legal, or tax advice. Consult a professional for such matters.
Hey Pitt fans, as the official credit union of the Pitt Panthers, Clearview Federal Credit Union is here to help you reach all your financial goals. Clearview wants to help you score big financially, whether you need to save, spend, borrow, or learn, they're here to help. Get easy access to your money from anywhere using their digital banking featuring Zelle, Clearview Live Video Banking, over 80,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, and financial centers throughout the Pittsburgh area. Visit clearviewfcu.org/Panthers to learn more and open an account today. Hail to Pitt.
Mac.bid is here. What is it? It's your place to save up to 80% off retail. But don't share this news, because you don't need the bidding competition. Neighbor wants to know where you got that new mower? Lie. Mom's admiring your new cookware? Fib. Your priest wants a new TV just like yours. Okay, maybe you tell your priest about Mac.bid, but don't tell anyone else. You need to become a deceiver, a teller of untruths, a fabricator of falsehoods, a spinner of yarns. Winning at Mac.bid is amazing. Competition stinks. Mac.bid is here. Tell no one.
Hi, this is Bill Hillgrove. I'm here with Joe Stefka from NSS Life. Joe, it's commonly known that NSS Life has a wide range of insurance products and high-yielding annuities that are among the industry's best.
You're right, Bill. In fact, our $50,000 youth term plan is only $50 per year. Just call for details.
Protecting and providing for your family. That's NSS Life.
NSS Life, where family matters.
Icy Light is the official beer of getting up early. It's the official beer of rallying the troops. The official beer of turning a 3-hour game into an all-day affair. The official beer of, did you just see that? The official beer of rising and cheering in unison for every season-defining moment. Icy Light, the official beer of your Pittsburgh Panthers. Let's raise another. Post-Gazette sports reporters Noah Hiles and Chris Carter follow your Pitt Panthers like they're on man-to-man coverage. They're the best duo in the city for game summary, stats, and insider info for the Oakland Zoo and all fans. Catch the action on the North Shore Drive podcast and drop a line in their mailbag. And don't forget to follow coverage all season long in the Post-Gazette. Read about wins at the Pitt and on the road from the preseason all the way to the ACC Championship.
It's the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Radio Network.
Jeff, Louisville comes in here on Saturday at noon. Pat Kelsey, first-year head coach, did wonders at the College of Charleston. Do you have a relationship? Do you know him at all?
Yeah, I know him a little bit, not like well, but I know him to say hello. He's a heck of a coach. He did it at Winthrop before that, before the College of Charleston, won big there. Is a disciple of Coach Prosser, Skip Prosser, who's a Pittsburgh guy. He was assistant with him and has done an unbelievable job at Louisville. They've won 5 straight. They've had some injuries that they've overcome. They play really, really hard, really fast, shoot a lot of threes, and just play their butts off.
They've got 5 guys in double figures, but it seems like Chucky Hepburn really runs it. I think he's like 5 assists, 15 points a game, something like that?
Yeah, he's an outstanding point guard, transfer from Wisconsin, was a starter there on a tournament team. I think one of the things that Pat did that was really smart in the portal, he got guys that came from winning programs. He brought a couple of guys with him from Charleston. In conference play, their leading scorer, Smith, was with him at Charleston. James Scott was with him at Charleston. Got a kid from Colorado who won, and so I think that's helped as well. But Chucky Hepburn's a really good point guard, handles it fast, quick, can score, but is a really, really good passer and has a feel and can get after your defense. He's one of the top guys in the country in steals.
I was going to say he can also take it from you. From your guys' standpoint, how do you approach this matchup, especially with, I think this is the first time you guys have played. I know the games at the Greenbrier were weird times, but a noon game.
This is our first noon game that I think we had one at 1, one of the non-conference games, but this is our first one at noon. And so it's different because you basically got to wake up ready to play. You can't work yourself into it. And so we're excited about it. Again, hopefully we have a great crowd. We're coming off of a tough loss against a really good team. We're anxious to get back out there and play.
There's plenty of time to come here and then get to your tailgates or wherever you want to go to watch the Steeler game. That's not till 8 o'clock. So finally, at least that time worked out this weekend that it didn't impact you. Thank you so much, Jeff. We appreciate it. Our thanks to the Panthers Director of Athletics, Alan Green, also to Derell Porter, and him being a awardee of distinction and all the things he does in the Hill District is just amazing for what he does. To Matt Pliska, to T-Bird for putting this together for the first time, and to Joel Nelson back at the studio. 11:30, we take air on Saturday here on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.